professions, they have their interns are paid, right? And so we need to get education to that level.
There is legislation in the state of Michigan that would pay student teachers and teachers who host those student teachers. How much money is being proposed? Mid-MichiganNow's Courtney Bennett has the details.
Proposed legislation in the Michigan House would give $90 a day to student teachers and $1,000 per semester for the mentor teacher.
Right now in the state of Michigan, student teachers are not paid. This legislation would give them money to be in the classroom. According to Saginaw Valley State University, eventually every student teacher is in the classroom teaching all of the lessons throughout the day. James Tarr, who is the Saginaw Valley State University's Dean of the College of Education, said this is a long time coming. Tarr believes this could make the teaching profession more attractive and possibly address the teacher shortage. At SVSU, in order to become a teacher, you are required to student teach.
How can you justify paying them when they don't have a degree?
Well, I think that's a fair question. That same question should apply in other fields, though, when interns are paid for doing a full-time internship. So it's not uncommon in other fields, but certainly in teaching, we've been behind the curve in that regard.
This legislation would also give host teachers $1,000 for the time they host the student teacher. Swartz Creek Community School Superintendent Ben Micah says that they have on average about 4 to 5 student teachers in their district each year. He says this money may help get their teachers more interested in hosting a student teacher.
You're doing a lot of oversight and you're doing some extra work. So it's, I think, very helpful in acknowledging that work and giving them some compensation for it.
Right now, this legislation is still very early in the process. It's just proposed in the Michigan House.
Hey, Mike, this may look like an ordinary home in your local neighborhood, but it's actually home to Heartbeat of Greater Flint, a saving grace for mothers struggling to find baby formula in this desperate time.
You have 21 new messages.
21. That's how many messages Heartbeat of Greater Flint received just yesterday from moms, grandmas, and caregivers desperate to find baby formula.
I had one grandma cry on the phone when she heard that we had Nutramigen. And so it's overwhelming.
Naja Terrell is a mom herself and says she didn't realize what an emergency situation this is until making a Facebook post last Tuesday, which has received thousands of shares and has left Heartbeat of Greater Flint's phone ringing nonstop.
We're getting people coming in just repeatedly all day long, but we're just happy that we had any supply left that we could share with the community.
Located at the corner of 4th and Stevens Street in Flint, Heartbeat of Greater Flint has been a staple in the community for more than 50 years, providing basic resources like clothes and diapers to those in need. But now they say there's a greater calling before them to help moms hopelessly searching for baby formula.
I started noticing there's certain types that our clients just don't use on the regular, and a lot of them were specialty formulas, and I started noticing, like, oh my gosh, I see posts on Facebook. Moms are looking for this formula and they can't find it.
Although the organization's supplies are limited, Terrell says she's glad they can serve as a helping hand until shelves are refilled.
We had one person come in that the baby they were getting the formula for had eaten in 24 hours, which is really heartbreaking. So this is why we do this. This is why Heartbeat exists.
You miss them if you're not there, or they're crossed off the schedule or something like that.
With her list in hand, Robin Heiss-Kokolski is ready to make Meals on Wheels deliveries.
I'm a retired social worker, so I've kind of worked with the people for a long time. And so when I retired, I knew I had to do something different to help.
She's one of the volunteers helping the Saginaw County Commission on Aging deliver meals to about 700 seniors in need in Saginaw County.
We found it's an essential need in the community, especially with the past couple of years.
The Commission's Volunteer and Activities Coordinator, Karen Luplo, says the pandemic made their services even more vital, but they lost an essential component to make it happen.
When everything was locked down, obviously, volunteers decreased and, were eliminated practically.
She says staffers had to make it work, changing how they deliver food.
Most of our routes were down to 2 days a week. So if you're receiving meals, you might have a Monday, Wednesday delivery or a Tuesday, Thursday delivery. So that would include a hot meal for that day, along with a frozen or cold meal for the next day. And then you'd have another delivery.
It's still that way today, but they want to get back to normal, spreading out the days that food, including the hot meals, are delivered. Yet they need more volunteers.
We are in a great need to help fill in those extra days that we're going to be adding back in.
Luplo says the meals not only promote healthy eating, but serve as wellness visits and reduce the feeling of isolation. It's something that new volunteer Terry Lawson is already noticing.
It's very gratifying. In fact, last week I rode with a couple of the girls on Meals on Wheels to go to the homes and deliver the meals, and the people are just so happy to see them and to know that there's people out there that care.